sports, and politics. Get ready to rumble! You wanna talk smack? You in the right place. So take a step back before I get all up in your
remember, because I don't remember. I remember every bit of this.
You're the dudes holding on the phone line. Your voice will be heard, sir.
Next caller, please.
Jerry's gonna get him.
Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics.
Listeners are asking questions about this week's games, not Jerry's personal beef. So what's your thought?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Fantasy Sports and Politics. It's me, Mr. FSP, doing this because I do it for you all day, every day. Again, I'm back because I went too long yesterday on the AFC North, and I got to do the NFC North. You know, winter is coming. The North remembers. So, with that being the case, I'm not going to beat around the bush too much. I am going to simply state, well, I got to fix my image here because I got to look good for the camera. You know, I am a Sigma man. So I got my Phi Beta Sigma frat shirt on. Not going to tell you what my frat name is or my nickname is. You got to figure that out. But Phi Beta Sigma till I die. Anyway, let's get into it. I really like that Feeding the Ducks music. So I'm gonna play that, okay? Here we go. Here we go. Now look, I know a lot of you, a whole lot of you. There's my frat brother. Also the person that sponsored me, one of the people that sponsored me. You're a Detroit Lion fan. You're a Minnesota Viking fan. You're a Green Bay Packer fan, Keith Fensky. Or you're a Chicago Bear fan. So, what I'm going to do is talk about your teams. And I'm going to invite you to come on and talk with me about your team. Give me 1 second. All right. So, let's just get to it. Oh, you know what? Since Pooney's here, he's Pooney. It's Sunday. I'm not going to say why he's Pooney. Poon, poon. Tang, tang. Booty tang. Anyway, that's my brother. My boy. Let's talk about the Chicago Bears first. Why not? Why not? Right? And my music was supposed to loop. I don't know why it didn't loop. Let me loop. There it is. There it is. Yeah. Yeah. And I also noticed that in the replays, I'm on beat live, but on the replay, I'm off beat. So forgive that. But let's go with these bum bears, okay? I shouldn't say bum bears. All right. Chicago did a lot of things this offseason. Namely, they got the most coveted head coach out there in Ben Johnson. Kudos for them. He stayed in the division. Crazy. Reminds me of Norv Turner. When Norv Turner left the Dallas Cowboys to coach the Washington Redskins at the time. Now, Norv great talent, great mind, terrible owner. Chicago, good ownership, good history, very good history, but they've fallen on hard times. So what they've done is they went out and they got Caleb Williams last year, DJ Moore to go with him. They also traded for oh my gosh, the receiver from the Chargers, who's no longer there. But my point is, they're in a rebuild mode. So what they did was they traded for veteran guards, Jonah Jackson and Joe Tooney, which are major O-line upgrades. Because I will tell you, my friend Rob Bogle and Paris Daniel, last year we were at Rob's house opening day, and Bears fans are so fragile, to include you, Pooney, to include you. And what happened was, oh, he said, here we go. Well, I'm about to address these things, Pooney. I'm about to address these things. I'm about to address them. They were like, oh my God, the old line is Swiss cheese. They were right. Absolutely right. So, one of the first things they did was go out, get 2 veteran offensive linemen. The defense needs some upgrades, right? Grady Jarrett, defensive tackle. Drew Dahlman at center. Deo Obadiah Magbo. Deo Alphabet. Deo Odiengbo. Deo Odiengbo. Odeyyingbo. Y'all got me on that one. Durham Smythe at tight end. And more tight end depth. They drafted probably the best tight end in the league in Loveland. Right? Got Luther Burden III at wide receiver. So they did some good things, right? They released a few players as well. Gerald Everett at tight end. I didn't think that was a good fit anyway, especially with what they already had. DeMarcus Walker. Virginia McCaskey passed away. Ending an era. So what they did was the Bears revamped the offensive line to help Caleb Williams. Not only Caleb Williams, but the run game. Think about this. You have 2 very good running backs back there. Rarely used. And DeAndre Swift is a good running back. I don't know why they didn't use him as much. Ben Johnson is going to change that. But remember, he was there in Detroit when Swift was there and didn't let him go. Got McGurk. Anyway. There's some stuff going on with the Bears that only a Bear fan will understand. Only a Bear fan will understand. And I'm going to tell you right now, if the Bears fans out there are wondering, what the hell do I got to do to get something better? I don't know. So what I'm going to do, like what I did yesterday, we're about to go over the schedule of Chicago Bears. All right. And by going over the Chicago Bears schedule, I'm giving you wins and losses. I'm just going to tell y'all. Don't get mad at me when your team doesn't have the type of record predicted by me that you think they should have. I'm just being honest. From what I see and what I believe. Okay? Now I'm going to say this. The Bears are ripe for a comeback year under Ben Johnson, but it does not start out good at all. Not at all. Just going to be honest, guys. Just going to be honest. All right, let me get my notepad, my handy dandy notebook. My handy dandy notebook. The Bears. They've added some pieces, they've subtracted some pieces, but are there enough pieces to put these Reese's pieces together? I think the biggest acquisition was the head coach and Ben Johnson. But how will that defense react to the additions they have? Will they gel? Like Pooney said in the statement, secondary was terrible, right? Actually, it wasn't too bad, but they were on the field way too long. That's where Ben Johnson comes in. A good offense is a strong defense, and a strong defense is a capable and competent offense. What do I mean by that? A strong defense will make sure that your offense has the ball more times than the opponent and give you those opportunities to succeed. The offense needs to complement the defense by putting together long drives and effective drives that end in a score. It's not going to happen 100% of the time, but you want at least a 75 to 80% ratio of scoring. 3 points is good. 7 points is best. But you keep your defense healthy by keeping them off the field. Now, these high-paced, fast offenses that score like within 20 seconds, that's great. But you're going to get in shootouts because your defense is going to be on the field more than necessary. That's why Ben Johnson is a big, big, big addition to the team. Let's see what he does with it. Because it doesn't get easy. They open up Soldier Field at home Monday night versus the Minnesota Vikings. Now, not the same Minnesota Vikings of last year. Same makeup except a key component. JJ. I'm not talking about James Jefferson. Justin Jefferson. I'm talking about JJ, the quarterback, is in place over Sam Darnold, who flourished in that offense. Straight flourish. But you do have Aaron Jones returning. Oh, man. Here we go. I got to put it up here. They cheap. They want to stay on rookie salary. I got it. His advice is stop changing coaches. I get it. Lovie Smith was the best coach since Mike Ditka. I agree. But let me get to this. I knew he was going to say a lot. But Minnesota is going in with a new quarterback, same weapons with a couple additions, but the chemistry's there. But it's not there at the quarterback position just yet. It's not. He's still a rookie because he didn't play a single actual down in the NFL. That defense is stout. It is stout. It's going to be a big, big test for Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears offense. I'll be honest with you. I like Caleb over JJ, but I like JJ's weapons over Caleb's. So Chicago starts the season 0-1. They have an L. It doesn't get any better because now you wanted to stay in division. Okay. So second game of the season at Detroit, the team you helped build, the team that should have gone to the Super Bowl, but thanks to my Commanders, they didn't. So Ben Johnson and the Bears face the Detroit Lions. 2 division games back to back. That's not good. I'll let you get to your okay. Cooney says 8-9 season, don't make the playoffs, no run game, so can't do play action. High interception rate because they play from behind. Cooney, I'm getting there. And I think you have something there, but I think Ben Johnson is going to run the ball a lot more than you think. A lot more. But against Detroit, it's the teacher and the Padawan. It's the master and the Padawan. I think Detroit comes out roaring and Chicago takes another L. Not good, open up the season 0-2, but you may see a little reprieve. I'm going to get there. But 2 division games back to back, not good. Now, week 3, huge test for the defense. Offensively, I think Chicago can stay with the Dallas Cowboys. Except Dallas now has 2 stud receivers. A healthy quarterback is back in Dak. I don't know what the future holds. But I will tell you that this should be an offensive explosion. Dallas needs to update their defense because it can't stop anybody. The Bears have a good defense, but they're always on the field. Will that change? Now they got to find a way to stop CeeDee Lamb and Pickens. What's up, Rich? Scans all day. I got you, brother. But we ain't talking about them. We're talking about Chicago and the Bears. The Bears at home playing the Cowboys. Only because it's the beginning of the season, right? And Dak has to get in sync with Pickens. He doesn't do that yet by week 3. I'm going to give the Bears a W. Now they face the Raiders in week 4. Week 4, they face the Raiders in Vegas. What I also notice is the Bears do not stop the run really well. They get after the pass rush. They get after the quarterback decently, not spectacularly, but decently. But the problem is, can they literally get after Geno? Because if they get Gentry going and the Bears can't stop him, it's going to be a long day. Pete Carroll, he's a program changer, right? No doubt. But the defensive backs and backers for the Raiders, this will have to be a game where Ben Johnson runs the ball heavily, in my opinion, versus the Raiders, and controls the clock. I think that's something that has to happen. So I think it will happen, and I'll give the Bears a W. 2-2, not bad. But here's something bad. The Bears have a bye week, week 5. That's not a lot of time if somebody gets hurt during the season to get healed up and back. Too early. Too early of a bye. Because then they come back and play the Commanders. You know I'm not going to have the Bears beat the Commanders. Yes, the Commanders beat them on a Hail Mary. A W is a W. And we're better than they are. So, of course, Chicago gets an L. Coming to Washington. Now, if that was in Chicago, I may have something to say about it, but nah, not going to happen. But they get the woeful New Orleans Saints in week 7. Unless they get a decent quarterback. And as I said yesterday, Deshaun Watson getting traded from Cleveland to New Orleans, probably not likely because of the money, but if they cut him, New Orleans should grab him. Right now, they have not. And because of that, New Orleans has an aging defense. And no sure number 1 quarterback, not even a decent number 2 to be number 1. That's my opinion. And a lot of weapons. But the Bears, in my opinion, are better. I'm going to give that to the Bears to get a W. Week 8, they got the Baltimore Ravens. Ben Johnson has a good offense. Ravens have a hellified defense. The Bears are going to have to stop Lamar. They're going to have to stop King Henry. And if they can't stop Swift or some of these other running backs, what makes me going to stop King Henry? It's an L. All right. Look, they run into a little luck here because Cincinnati is a mirror image of the Chicago Bears, except far superior wide receivers. DJ Moore is good. He's very good, but he's not a T. Higgins. He's not a Jamar Chase. But the problem is Joe Burrow only really has those two and they have to rely on Chris Brown, to run that rock and be successful. Defense is terrible. The Bears defense is a little better in my opinion, especially if Hendricks does not come back and play this season for the Bengals. The Bears have some weapons. They fixed the offensive line, they think. I got the Bears winning. Okay, I don't know what's going on here, but I ain't got time for no foolishness. All right. Now, the Bears and the Giants. Look, if Russell doesn't win that job, and they give it to the rookie, who they jump back in to get, Dart. Dart has an arm. Dart is good. He needs to be controlled a bit. But I just don't see enough weapons outside of one receiver. Giants ain't got nothing coming. Bears win that too. So they go on a mini little win. Now they run up against Minnesota, at Minnesota. Typically, division games are super, super tough. Super, super tough. Right? I don't know if this one's going to be super, super tough. I gave the Bears the loss against J.J. McCarthy and them in week 1. But now, the Bears are in that offense. They're in that offense. Upset, maybe. I got Chicago beating Minnesota in their second game. But then here comes Mr. Rodgers, and then Philadelphia, and then Green Bay. Listen, those are 3 straight losses. I'm not even going to get into it. I don't care where they are. They're going to lose to Pittsburgh, Philly, and at Green Bay. First week of December. L. Week 15, Cleveland comes to town. See, they only have one real reprieve because Cleveland. I'm going to tell you, Cleveland, I don't know what they're going to do, but Chicago's going to win that game. Packers and 49ers and Detroit to finish the season. I can't give 3 straight losses. I can, actually. I actually can. Because this is an improvement from last year already. But will Green Bay sweep them? Will Detroit sweep them? You know what I'm going to say? Here's what I'm going to do. Green Bay sweeps them. Caleb claims he owns, Green Bay. He don't own Lambeau Field. He does not own Lambeau Field. So they lost in Lambeau, but will they win at home in Soldier Field? Aaron Rodgers never lost at Soldier Field. Jordan Love doesn't lose either. L. San Fran, L. But last game of the season, Detroit's already in the playoffs. Detroit has got everything set up. Detroit takes the L. Chicago gets the W. With that, I give Chicago 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Just like Pooney said, 8 and 9. Look at there, 8 and 9. He says, I hate the NFL added a game that gives players an extra game to stack stats. You talking slow. Bro, you're welcome to come on the show. Shoot me your email and I'll let you come on and be part of the show. Tell me I'm talking slow. All right. 8 and 9. 8 and 9. All right, let's go to the pack. Let's go to the Packers. All right. Now, Green Bay, I don't know if they're still in love with Jordan Love or not. I don't care. But Green Bay is a team that you have got to respect. You got to respect them. Not just because of, the heritage and all the other stuff, man. Respect them because they're a good damn team. Now, they added Nate Hobbs at cornerback, guard Aaron Banks. This right here doesn't float my boat. Mecole Hardman, up and down like a roller coaster. Don't know. Linebacker Christian Welch, linebacker Isaiah Simmons. I like Isaiah Simmons. I've liked him since he's come out of college. I just don't think he's been played in the right position. I just don't think so. Will he get used correctly? I don't know. My older sister's texting me. I don't know what it's about. I'm about to find out. But they drafted. I love this draft pick. Matthew Golden. They got him in the first round. The first time the Packers got a wide receiver in the first round in a very long time. And Savion Williams. But Matthew Golden. Here's the thing. I think it's like 10 wide receivers in Green Bay right now. Somebody's going to have to step up. A lot of folks are going to get cut. You cannot carry 10 wide receivers. You can't, because you're killing the rest of the other positions. Crazy. Subtraction, the biggest one, Jair Alexander. Talked about this yesterday. I don't know what the deal is with him leaving Green Bay, but I think he's going to find new life with the Ravens. But do they fill his gap? I don't know. Harmon brings speed as a playmaking receiver, but his hands are iffy. I'm telling you. McCole Hartman is going to be like the statesman of the wide receiver room. But that's 3 receivers, 2 drafted, 1 free agent, and they already had like 6. Somebody ain't gonna make it, right? Aaron Banks shores up the offensive line, so hopefully Jordan Love isn't running around trying to, throw off platform, whatever the case may be, and he makes holes for Josh Jacobs. That's the big thing there. He's got to make holes for Josh Jacobs. He's got to do it. With that being the case, yeah. Laugh. I know. All right. It does not start out good for Detroit. I mean, for the Packers. They've got 4 games, 3 of which they seriously might lose. Okay? Listen to me. They open up against Detroit. It's at home, but the weather don't mean anything because it's September. Let me turn my page and go ahead and get this schedule up here for the Packers. Detroit is in a better situation than Green Bay because I believe Detroit knows who they are. They hire from within to fill the coordinator positions and are able to somewhat seamlessly transition. We'll know when the season starts, but I think that helps a lot. Green Bay had some additions that potent, but I don't think they're going to win, man. I think Detroit starts out beating the Pack. So the Pack starts out with L. Against the Commanders on a Thursday night. Second game of the season. In Green Bay. Weather is not a factor. It's important. I'm telling you, if Green Bay played Washington in Lambeau like mid December or late November, I would give it to Green Bay all day because they're built to play in that weather. Washington's offense is not built like that, even though they have a power running back in Robinson, and Eckler can be a power back too, but Robinson is the power back. Washington wins. So Green Bay starts out 0-2. That's not a homer pick either. Not a homer pick. Green Bay then goes to Cleveland. Now, Green Bay is going to play Cleveland after the Ravens have already beat up. And I believe the Ravens are really going to beat up on Joe Flacco if he's a starting quarterback. I really believe so. I think it's going to be easy pickings for the Packers. So the Packers get a W. Then they have to go to Dallas. Remember I said 4 games, 3 of which are going to be super tough. This is tough. Because why? They have a bye in week 5. Craziness, right? But the Cowboys have a set of receivers and play a style of offense that's going to force Green Bay to run Jacobs. They're going to have to run Jacobs. Because if you get in a shootout with the Cowboys with those receivers and your weak secondary, Green Bay would lose all day. They would. But I think Green Bay going against that defense is going to score a lot of points. It's only week 4. I think by mid-season, Pickens and Lamb will be major focal points for Dak. I mean, CeeDee Lamb's going to be anyway, but Pickens has got to get that chemistry. It's got to get that chemistry, and I don't think it's going to happen by week 4. So I'm going to give the W to the Packers. Get a bye week 5. Cincinnati, Arizona, Pittsburgh, Carolina. That's the next 4 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Yeah. All winnable. All winnable. Except for one. Cincinnati's not going to have a good season at all. I told you LaFleur is going to be on the hot seat. Straight up and down. So that's a W for the Packers. Against the Cardinals here in Arizona. I love what the Cardinals have done. I don't like the fact that they didn't get a stellar number 2 wide receiver. That's going to hurt them. So I think the Cardinals lose, the Pack win, but then the Pack run up on a Sunday night game against Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers and those 3 tight ends and DK and that defense. I told you, Pittsburgh's only losing like 4 games. This ain't one of them. Green Bay loses. They take the L. Then they have the Carolina Panthers. Much improved team. Last half of the season, Chuba Hubbard went off. Young went off. They found Adam Thielen. They've added a few pieces. Is that coach a QB guru? Is he a whisperer in Carolina? I don't know. But I think this is going to be an L for Carolina. Green Bay gets a W. Ooh-wee. Then you follow up Monday night. Week 10 versus the Eagles. Very, very, very good game. It should be close. It's in Lambeau Field. Second week of November. So it's getting a little cold. But Saquon can play in that. Look, I'm telling you guys, don't believe the hype of some people that Saquon's going to fall off. As long as Philly's offensive line is straight, Saquon is going to be straight. As long as Jalen Hurts is a threat to run the ball, Saquon's going to be straight. I'm telling you, don't listen to what some people say about Saquon having a fall-off year. Man, curse be damned. Green Bay takes the L. Then they come back and play the Giants. Look, I think the Giants they're firing their coach and they're going to fire their GM. I don't think the Giants are going to win that many games. Green Bay gets a W. The Vikings. First meeting of the year. November 23rd. Lambeau Field. J.J. McCarthy has played at Michigan. So the cold weather shouldn't bother him. Bitter cold weather. But this is an interesting game because Minnesota has been on the rise, right? Green Bay they had a terrific season last year, unexpected. I think they take an L here. You know what? No. They're going to split. They're going to win this at home, but lose. When they go to Minnesota. So I give them a W. Now they go to Detroit. They're at Detroit, Ford Field. Ford Field. They were in Green Bay when they played Detroit. I don't want to say it's going to be a sweep, so I can't do that. We swept them last year. Thanksgiving game, coming off of playing, Minnesota the week before. I mean, a couple days before. 2 division games back to back. Man. And then they got Chicago after Detroit. So 3 straight division games. It's an L. I got Detroit sweeping Green Bay. I do. But they come back, get recuperated. Did I say Chicago splits with no, I don't think I did. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nah, they take an L. So Packers beat the Bears. Then they gotta face Denver. Whoop. And Chicago again at Soldier Field. Man, they're gonna lose to Denver. At Chicago, Soldier Field. Love is supposed to own. It's supposed to own them. Week 16. It's an L. I mean, a W for Green Bay. They sweep the Bears. Ravens and Minnesota to knock out the season. Listen. Ravens win that game. So Packers take the L. Minnesota, last game of the season in Minnesota. I think they win that game. Let me see. Did I give them the... What week is that? Week 12. I got to give Green Bay the W in Minnesota because they lost at home. So with that, I give the Packers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 and 7. That's respectable. 10 and 7 is respectable. It is respectable. Will it be? I don't know. But it is respectable. I'll put it that way. All right. Let's go on down the Yellow Brick Road. Let's go to Minnesota. Yeah, let's just do Minnesota. Reason why I'm going to go do Minnesota now is because I have Detroit doing something similar like they did last year, but not quite. I mean, offensive coordinator change, defensive coordinator change, but it's in-house. Really, 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 really makes a lot of the difference. All right, Viking fans. I know quite a few Viking fans. I love the fact that y'all got Jonathan Allen from us to shore up that defensive line that was already good. Brian Flores has that defense coming at you. You know I had to get you. Then they added Javon Hargrave. Will Fries is a good pickup on the offensive side of the ball. It's a guard. You need him. You know, Jeff Okudah got a 1-year deal from him. He was a first-round pick for Detroit. You know, he was decent. I mean, I don't know if he it was a system or what, but just didn't work in Detroit. They also went and got Donovan Jackson. They drafted him expecting him to start. So if you're expecting a rookie to start, that tells you how bad offensive line was. But now Aaron Jones has my guy as his backup from the 49ers. And I'm telling you, it's huge. It's huge. Here's some impact, right? They lost Sam Darnold. Earnhardt and Hargrave significantly bolster the interior defensive front, better pressure, and run defense. I told you that, right? And it's true. Fries and Donovan Jackson reinforced protection for quarterback and commitment to trench improvement. This is the deal. They're going to protect JJ, but they're going to run that rock. That's the way you protect them best. Run the rock. Even though you got Justin Jefferson and Addison and Hawkinson and all that, you don't go out and get a potential guy that could start somewhere else as a backup now for Aaron Jones. Both backs can tote the rock and catch the ball out of the backfield. I'm telling you, it is what it is. But Minnesota, except for the QB position, has a lot of proven talent. A lot. And that's going to be the key. Can JJ stand the pressure? Can he do what Sam Darnold did? And Sam Darnold was considered a bust. Came back this year. Should have been comeback player of the year. And was phenomenal for the last few games of the season. Playoff and last regular season game. Then it reverted back to the old Sam. But the point is, Minnesota's no one to be trifled with. I like Minnesota. I do. Got a coworker who diehard Minnesota fan. Talking trash to me all season last year. Well, when I started working there, got a former soldier. He moved to Minnesota. Not from Minnesota, but he retired and moved to Minnesota. And he's got tickets to the Atlanta Falcons game. Y'all won't be disappointed, but you won't be too happy. Let's go over your schedule. Vikings. Here we go. All right. First out of the box. At Chicago. You already know. That's a W. Then Atlanta comes to town. Michael Penix. I think Michael Penix is the key to Atlanta's complete. And I'm going to tell you right now, I got Atlanta winning the NFC South. Because if Kirk Cousins is still there and he's the backup, Kirk has had some even amount of time to let that Achilles officially heal and be safe, right? So either he gets traded or he gets to be the backup. But Michael Penix, his health is key because you already got a monster in Bijan Robinson. You also got a monster in London and London Drake. And if Pitts can pick up where he left off with Penix last year, Pitts will finally be seen as the type of tight end that he was drafted to be. But he was in a bad system. I'm going to give him that all day. System, it made Delaney Walker, it made Johnny Smith, but Ryan Tannehill was the quarterback. Not Desmond Ridder, not Taylor Heineke, not all these guys that are not worthy of starting. Tannehill worked his way into that position to being a decent quarterback, but I'm telling you, Minnesota better watch out. This game should be a high-scoring game. It should be. I know it's in Minnesota, but I think JJ versus Penix national championship rematch. I think Penix gets the W. So that means the Vikings take the L. They beat Cincinnati. Not even gonna get into it. They lose, again, experienced quarterback, to Pittsburgh. They beat Cleveland. But again, bye week is early, week 6. Gives them time to recuperate, readjust a few things. But then they got Philly, the Chargers, Detroit, Baltimore in the next 4 games. I'll be honest with you. The only game I see them having... Okay, that's a lie. I think Philly beats them. Defense is way better. And coming after a rookie quarterback, I think Philly dominates that game versus Minnesota. But then you play the Chargers, who's going to run the rock. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But that's where you got Jonathan Allen and Hargrave. Now, Minnesota's defense is already really good. Really, really good. But you add those components. The problem that you'll see with the Chargers is they went from a passing team to a hard-nosed run team. So passing the ball is not their forte. Even though they have one of the best quarterbacks, right? So with that being said, I got to give Minnesota the win here. I think they'll be able to throw on that defense and make some things happen. Detroit, Baltimore. I'm going to have Minnesota split with Detroit. So they're going to lose this game at Detroit, but win the game at home. Ravens are going to beat them. So that's a loss. 2 straight losses, right? Not too bad. Because they get the Bears and Packers and Seahawks. And then Washington comes to town, right? But let me go Bears, Packers, Seahawks. I got to go back and see what I had the Bears week 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a loss. So that means the Vikings get a win. Green Bay, it's a loss. I think at Lambeau Field, I think they lose. But they get healthy because Sam Darnold. They go visit Sam. Now Sam has Cooper Kupp and Jackson Smith and Jigba and Walker if he's healthy. By week 13, he might not be healthy. And an improved defense. But it's Sam. And they're going to make sure Sam feels it. Minnesota gets the win. Washington comes to Minnesota. Indoor conditions, fast track. Here's the question. Has Washington's secondary improved enough to cover Addison, Jefferson, Hawkins, and stop Aaron Jones in the running game? That's the sticking point with Washington. The running defense used to not be that, but again, new defensive coordinator, new defensive scheme, head coach that runs that scheme has his acolyte, his second, doing it, but it's a soft middle type deal. I love my team, but I'm realistic. I think Minnesota beats them. I think they beat them, right? But then at Dallas, JJ's not ready for that. I'm just be honest. Addison and Jefferson versus Lamb and Pickens. I got Dallas winning that game, so Minnesota takes the L. But they beat the Giants next. And I said they were going to split with Detroit, so they get that W as well. Week 17. Week 18, then with Green Bay, and it's an L. So Minnesota, after it's all said and done, will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 and 8. Now, I want you to think about this. Rookie, pretty much quarterback, coming into play. That's a decent record with a guy that has never taken an official regular season snap in the NFL. Weapons, I get it. The weapons are similar. The weapons are the same. 9 and 8 might squeak them into the playoffs, into that last spot, into that 7th spot. The NFC is not that strong. They're not, just being honest. Right? So, that leaves the Detroit Lions. Woo! Now, let's be real here. The Lions are a monster of a team. Who's the offensive coordinator? Who's defensive coordinator? Promote Chad Morton, offensive coordinator. Promote the linebackers coach to be the defensive coordinator. Weapons have not depleted. In fact, they added multiple, defensive backs. DJ Reed, Rock Ya Sin, Avonte Maddox, Carlton Davis via trade. So that secondary already had Branch and a rookie, and now they just added some more talent. I don't think they're going to play the same style defense. But then they also added defensive tackle Roy Lopez, linebacker Grant Stewart. They added Kyle Allen at quarterback, which tells me they're not high on my guy from the University of Tennessee, Hendon Hooker. Kyle Allen brings experience. Hendon Hooker is your future. They also got Kenny, your boy, to add depth to the tight end position. Face it, they have probably the best tight end in the NFL right now. Laporta is pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. I know Travis Kelce gets all the love. George Kittle does as well, but Laporta is probably better than both right now. Or was it the system? Either way, he's a tight end to target. Now they lost Darius Smith, Jalen Reeves-Maven, and Antonio Green. Out of those three, Darius Smith was a free agent. That was a trade. There was a trade for him, and he was a rental. I would love to have seen him stay opposite of Hutchinson. That would have given Detroit the pass rush they really, really need to go along with those linebackers. I love Anzalone and the other linebacker that they got. He was a rookie last year. But at the same time, Zadarius Smith is a monster. Just saying. And John Kaminsky, defensive end, and Frank Ragnow. Let me explain the severity of losing your starting center. It's huge. It is huge. That center is the next most important player on the offensive side of the ball. Not the running back, not the receivers, not the tight end, not the guards, not the tackles. the center. The center's responsibility is to really shift protection. Really. The center's job is to like, hey man, check out of this. He's a quarterback. He has to be smart and physical. Losing Ragnow, even though they were planning on it, is huge. Talk to Ben Roethlisberger when he lost Pouncey. How'd that work out? A year or so later, he retired, right? Okay. I'm telling you, never underestimate what the center position provides. It is the linchpin. The center position is the linchpin. Jesus. The center is the linchpin of the offense. Don't ever get it twisted. Don't think anything otherwise. Losing Ragnow affects Jared Goff way more than it affects anybody else on that field, because now you need somebody that's going to be comfortable enough with Jared Goff to do the things that Ragnow did, along with the assignments of who's blocking who. That snap is so important. It is so important. If he's not right and he's not feeling it, you might have a lot of fumbles of snaps from under center. I'm telling you. Ragnow's a big, big, big loss. The Lions were preparing for it. So, you know, that's a good thing. But understand the impact. Here we go. The defensive backfield is vastly improved, adding 4 starting caliber corners, reducing vulnerability to passing attacks. True. So true. The front office rebalanced by letting veterans edges go in favor of younger talent. That's where that Zadarius Smith issue comes into play. But Ragnow's retirement hurts the offensive line in so many ways. But Lopez and Tesla, the pick this year, help offset it. But when you're the best or one of the top 2, top 3 lines in the National Football League, it's your center, along with the rest, that make it that way. Big, big, big loss. Backup Kyle Allen could stir competition behind Jared Goff. They're not expected to start. He's not. He's not. He's not. Allen is an insurance policy. He's going to collect a check. I think the league minimum for his time of service in the NFL. That's it. No real threat to Hendon Hooker, but Hendon Hooker might not be the future. I hope they give him a chance to be the future, but it's been in the league for a minute as a backup after the injury. Time to step up and show what you can do, guy. All right, let's go down this list and decide if the Detroit Lions can repeat the same type of record they did last year, which they're not going to. 14-3 or 15-2, not going to happen again. No. But let's start. They have an advantage. Four preseason games. The Hall of Fame game on the 31st of this month. The Hall of Fame game. But they open up against Green Bay. They beat Green Bay. They beat Chicago. They lose, because this is a tough game, to Baltimore, so that's one loss. They beat Cleveland. They beat Cincinnati. Ooh. Oh, a Sunday night at Kansas City in mid-October. Perfect time because it's not super, about to curse, super freaking cold. That's a game. Detroit wins. They beat Kansas City in Kansas City. Disrespected them once, they'll do it again. They beat Tampa Bay. I said they were going to split with Minnesota, so they win at home. Now, my loyalties. Look. Detroit's going to be super mad come week 10 because they're playing Washington at Washington. By the way, they have their bye week 8, which isn't a bad place to have your bye, pretty much in the middle of the season. But you go to the team that put you out the playoffs and totally embarrassed you. Totally embarrassed you. 5 turnovers. They're out for blood. Keep it real. They're out for blood. And I love my team, but Detroit's going to kick that ass for revenge. They go to Philly. This should have been the NFC Championship game, but I'm glad Washington went, just being honest. Philly, across the board, are better. I think Saquon's better than my boy Gibbs and Montgomery, but Gibbs and Montgomery are more productive than Saquon. But one player versus one player, Saquon beats them both, in my opinion. Defense, we got to see what this defense of Detroit looks like, man. But we know what Philly looks like. Philly wins this game. That's 2 losses. Week 11. Week 12 versus the Giants. Really? I don't need to go there. Thanksgiving. Woo! So here's the deal. They play the Giants on Sunday, whereas Green Bay plays Minnesota that Sunday. Difference in opponent going into that Thanksgiving game is huge. Huge. Minnesota playing Green Bay Sunday versus the Lions playing the Giants. And then they play each other on Thanksgiving. Huge difference. Huge difference. Detroit, I think they'll be better. Healthier, too. Followed by another Thursday night game against the Cowboys at Ford Field. That's the big difference. If it's in Texas, I would have been like, okay, maybe not. Dome stadium doesn't matter. But that Texas crowd this time of or that time of year, beginning of December, and I think Dallas will have a decent record, is different. But I gotta give it to Detroit. Right now, only 2 losses. They face the Rams. Week 15. I like Devontae Adams. I like Puka Nacua. I mean, I really do. I really do. It's a tough one. Matthew Stafford. Again, it's not Stafford versus Goff, but it's in LA this time. And I'm going to tell you, Stafford with 2 dynamic weapons. Again, I think Cooper Kupp is excellent, but I think Devontae Adams is better. Paired with Puka Nacua, and that defense, that's the key. That defense is young and a beast. And Blake Corum and Kyron Williams tote the rock enough? Because it's going to be them versus Montgomery and Gibbs. Because Amon-Ra St. Brown versus Puka Nacua and Jameson versus Adams, I'll be honest, that's pretty close. My opinion, pretty close. Hawkinson versus the Rams. I mean, Laporta. I'm sorry. Laporta versus the Rams tight end. Laporta all day. But defensively, the Rams are better. 3 losses. All right. So they lose to the Rams. An upset somewhat. Then they come back and play Pittsburgh. But it's at home. It's not in the elements. It's at home. Pittsburgh's doing really, really well. They're cruising along. I give the W to Detroit. Week 17 at Minnesota. I believe I said I was going to have them split. So that's 4 L's to Detroit. But they finished the season off against Chicago, and they destroyed Chicago. Oh no! Has Chicago split with them? Ooh. It's in Chicago though. I gotta think about that. Well, I already had Chicago 8-9, so that's 5 losses. 12-5. 12-5. Now, to be honest, I don't think they're gonna lose that game in Chicago, but I think Chicago is gonna play harder because Detroit will have the number 2 or number 1 seed locked up already. They're not going less than number 3. That's the bottom line, because I said so. All right, that wraps up the NFC North and my predictions. I truly believe that we've got some good football coming up at the end of the month. First preseason game, Hall of Fame game. I need to upload that. I can feel it coming in the air night. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. I know I sound bad. Sorry, guys. But with that being the case, big shout out to my boy Pooney for jumping on. My guy Rich Thorpe, Commanders fan, Redskins fan. We love our team, man. We love our team. But thank y'all for supporting me, as well as my guy all the way in Egypt, Ahmad Mustafa. All the way in Egypt, he's listening and looking. My guy. Thank you, brother. With that being the case, I appreciate everybody. Saturday. Let's do the South. Put some South in your mouth. I already said Atlanta's going to win the South. I said that like the last 2 years. Last year, they should have won the South. This year, they're going to South. But Baker Mayfield threw for 41 touchdowns last year. 13 interceptions for 41 touchdowns. Can we do that again? Oof. We'll talk about it Saturday. NFC, AFC, South. If I only get to one, it'll probably be the AFC, and then Sunday I'll do the NFC. Yeah, I'll do it that way. Saturday is going to be AFC, Sunday will be NFC. So AFC Saturday, NFC Sunday. stick and stay with me. It's your boy, Mr. FSP, because I do's what I does, and you can't stop it, and you can't stop because it won't stop. Don't try. We choose told you. Nah. All right, guys. I'll see y'all Saturday. Hold up. Let's do it like this.
Fantasy, sports, and politics. Get ready to rumble! You wanna talk smack? You in the right place. So take a step back before I get all up in your
Remember, because I don't remember. I remember every bit of this.
You're the dudes holding on the phone line. Your voice will be heard, sir.
Next caller, please.
Jerry's gonna get him.
Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics.
Listeners are asking questions about this week's games, not Jerry's personal beef. So what's your thought?